Harris-Kenfinity here, and here's my review of The Shadow, directed by Russell Mulcahy, starring Alec Baldwin, John Lone, Penelope Ann Miller, Peter Boyle, Ian McKellen, believe it? Yes, Ian McKellen, you believe it? Tim Curry, Jonathan Winters, and Sab Simone. Amazing cast. While we start out with this changing, philosophy seeker in Tibet, so we meet this man, Lamont Cranston, who is very well known back in New York, but he's here, getting so many amazing techniques and philosophies that he can use. So he's getting these ancient philosophies and techniques and an unpredictable laugh. So now, back in New York, he becomes the Shadow, protecting New York. So he gets these amazing philosophy techniques and this actual amazing power in Tibet. So he's back in New York, and here that power is going to come to fruition. So in New York, he's stopping crime as the Shadow, and he always knows because the Shadow knows. So, since the Shadow knows, he is stopping this crime, and we got these terrible mob bosses, sheriffs, right? So stopping them. And back as Lamont Cranston, he's friends with the chief of police. Yes, only police commissioner Wainwright's boss. Commissioner boss of the police. Oh yeah, he definitely is. Never Eleanor Roosevelt. So he's with the police commissioner. While he's using his powers a little bit because he can literally hypnotize. He can literally put people in a trance. He got from Tibet, so he can put people in a trance to do his bit. What he needs for them to do, what's right for them to do. Well, actually, this amazing socialite, Margot Lane. Her father is a scientist, and she, has this interesting telepathy. She can read minds. It's amazing. They're, going to get so much from each other, literally. So he can put in kind of a trance, and she can read minds. So they get this amazing connection. While an amazing employee of her father is Farley Clay Cleon. Farley Clayman. Yay, and hi, I'm back, yay. So you're always trying to get closer to Margot. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome that you did that. Hey, let me do this. Like, she's always not really paying attention to amazing Farley. She's always looking far from Farley. Yes. And so we already got the worst this worst crime boss, Mo Jarretts. But now you get this terrible ancient power trying to reemerge, Yes. So this terrible power is trying to come back. Yeah, and he does come back in his ancient tomb and everything. So come back and uses his mind hypnosis, but the Shadow knows. So of course now the Shadow is facing this worst ancient threat and getting closer to, closest mind, mind melding Margot. Yes, so they're the closest, and he is stopping this closest threat because he's been to Tibet and everything. So stopping this thread, here comes Farley. So it's the Shadow stopping this thread, getting closer to Margot telepathically, And only Farley, so Farley and the police commissioner get this ancient threat out of here. And there's only this mob boss. So it's amazing. I know you have to say, well, mob boss in this time of 40s, but you also have the worst ancient threat. So it's amazing how you stop both of them and how they are closer together, in every set, from your mind. So, from everything, they get closer together. So it's fun. Yes, I definitely see how people wish that it wasn't so, it wasn't so dramatic and, so focused on the interplay, between them, between Margot and Lamont. Definitely how we could have had, more focus on on the Shadow's journey and the Shadow stopping crime. Like I see, like I feel like it has too much of a light atmosphere. Like it's too light and dramatic instead of more dynamic and dramatic. But I still like how they're getting to know each other, and he is the Shadow, and from being the Shadow. He literally changes into the Shadow. So I feel like they do with that duality amazing. They do that good, but I definitely could have had it. Definitely would enjoy more, dynamic dynamics. I would have liked more of the dynamics between him and the Shadow, the dynamics of his powers and how his powers work, and how Margot has been, she's been doing this with her dad all her life basically, and more of her connection with her dad, like what happens with her dad being kidnapped and everything. So I feel like it could have been more dynamic basically, but I still liked it, and they never looked far for amazing Folly performance. I love that actor. Even close and bright, he's never in the dark. So it definitely could have had more of the dynamic the Shadow knows. Especially with him, playing a character. So especially with him playing a character, who's tortured, but he's laughing, doing what he has to do with his shadows. I love that for him. But I feel like it could have been more dynamic. And I feel like the pacing just could have been a little bit tighter, but it was fun, and it was a good superhero. It was a good superhero journey, good superhero crime stopping. Of the 40s, a good 40s superhero, crime adventure, and then with the whole mind, because there was a lot of studies and stuff like that, so it was interesting. But definitely dynamics, please. So it definitely is Wonderstone wonderful. I liked it. Definitely please check it out, and please like, subscribe, notification bell, and yeah, so when all new videos come out, and please let me know what's a good movie that just you could tell if they just changed the tone of it. It would be amazing. Like they just changed the air. Like yeah, like I feel like they could have just changed the drama. Of how they do the drama of them getting to know each other, and just the drama of the crime. I feel they could have changed it. But let me know. It's a movie that is okay, but like they just changed the tone of it. Or just changed an element. Forever. Let me know, and it'll be even better. So please let me know. Like, subscribe, notification bell, all that. These videos will last infinity.